So Joe, my legs are pretty sore after doing a run yesterday. What are some things I can do with this foam roller to really help out that soreness that I'm feeling in my legs? What's the first thing I can do? You know, my calf's pretty tight.
Calves are pretty tight. How about your quads and your hamstrings? How are those feeling?
You know what? Everything just feels pretty damn tight at this point.
You know what I like to do? I like to start from the bottom, work my way up. It's just how the circulatory system works as well, so it helps get a lot of inflammation out. So we'll start with your calves. How about that?
Okay. All right. So sitting down like this, I guess.
Yes. So what you're going to do is kind of prop yourself up.
1 foot, 1 leg, 2 legs.
This way we can work twice as fast.
Okay.
And so what you're going to do is you're going to want to prop your arms up, take your butt kind of off the mat here, and then just swinging at your shoulders, we're going to roll back and forth over the roll.
How far up and down should I go?
That's up to you, whatever is a comfortable range. You can work it in halves, quarters, or you can just do one big roll across the whole calf here.
Now I feel like I'm getting pretty far away when I get up towards my knee there. Should I move my hands up closer? Or?
Yes, that's actually a good observation. Yeah, it would be better for you to stay as close to your body as you can. That way you're not putting too much stress on your shoulder when you roll back.
Right. And should I do hands, fists? You know, what should I do?
Ultimately, it is comfort. So if knuckles are good for you, then go right ahead.
And then what if just one of them was tight? How would be the best way to kind of position myself to get just one of my legs?
So it's good to cross over. If you wanted to do work on just your right, cross your left over your right, that'll apply more pressure as well. So you can always, if you're feeling like it's not getting deep enough, putting pressure with your left leg down onto your right leg would be good too.
Certainly. Now what should I do with my feet while I'm doing this? Should I just kind of let them relax?
Leave them completely relaxed, because when you're pulling them up towards your head, you're putting your gastroc on stretch, and that's going to cause it to not work as well, because we want to keep that relaxed to make sure we move as much as we can out of there.
Gotcha. And how long should I do this for on my calf?
Just whatever is comfortable. There's no real time frame. Usually just a couple minutes is what I would say is it's a good time, and by then usually sore, but
I certainly started to feel it. So you said working from low to high, so my calves are doing all right at the moment. What would be for my hamstrings then?
Next, so this is good. You're already in the position. We'll just roll this on forward, and you want to stop before your knee. So if you can imagine this 2-inch space here, that's the no zone. It's not very comfortable there.
Okay.
So you might as well just stay away from it. So staying right above the knee is the same kind of position. You're going to push yourself up and applying pressure down on your legs.
So avoiding that 2-inch spot, but how high up should I go?
You can roll right into the glutes, right into your butt here. And once again, it's a long muscle, so you can work at that in halves or quarters if you wanted to.
So doing a segment maybe like this for a bit, you're saying? And
just for 30 seconds here, 30 seconds in the back, keep working back, and then...
Gotcha. And then the same thing, like cross over to do it with one, or is there a different position?
If you wanted to do one, then definitely crossing over is good as well.
Okay, so what would be the next thing then?
So, just for aesthetically pleasing, rolling, just right over to your side, and we can work into the IT band.
Keeping it here?
Yep. So you want to kind of be nice body alignment. So keeping your hips rolling forward so that you're nice and straight. And I always like to cross over. This gives a little bit more stability, and you can always take more pressure off by applying more pressure through your left leg here.
Oh, I see. So I can kind of
so you can lift
hold
yourself
myself
up.
so I'm not putting so much there.
That's correct. Because the dreaded IT band is not comfortable.
Yeah, it's certainly tight. That run yesterday killed me. And then again, working in small pieces, or should I go all the way up? Should I keep the foam roller moving, or should I be moving constantly, or should I kind of let it sit for a bit?
We'll keep it rolling. We're not trying to really focus on the trigger points as much. We're just trying to keep that fascia kind of stretched out. So as long as you keep in a rolling motion, that's great.
And then what should I do if my shoulder starts to bother me? Is there any way I can kind of
So it's always
modify
good to
that?
start on that elbow as it increases the surface area so it takes a little pressure off. But if you need to, you can most certainly grab like a pillow or another soft object and go right ahead and use that.
And then is there any way that I can make sure that I'm keeping that hip, kind of in the right position? Should I keep my hand there? Should I be looking at something?
It's good for balance with your hand on the hip there.
Okay.
Come in here. And if you feel, you won't feel any torque. If you feel this is nice and straight in your hands, if you're putting a good cup, that's a good position for you.
Okay. Perfect. And then, what about my quads, the front of my leg there? What should I do for that?
So you're going to roll over into a prone position, kind of like you're trying to fly like Superman over here.
And then again, one leg or two legs?
Just the one leg is great.
What's the other one?
Again, just rolling it up
Rolling
and down.
back and down.
Is there any sort of range or no zone, like you said, with my quads that I should worry about?
Yes, it's the same thing, kind of right over the knee. It's a really bony structure once you get close there. The patella is in there. You don't want to, it's very uncomfortable there, so you'll know when to stop. Good. And then also, you don't want to go too high up on the hip, because then you start rolling over into your hip bones here. And then that can cause quite a bit of discomfort. So you're kind of working right in the meat of the leg here.
Gotcha. All right, well, that's starting to feel pretty good. I really appreciate it, Joe. So,
no problem.
How frequently should I do this if I'm just starting to get into running again this spring?
So I would do it as much as you can, really. I wouldn't work it too hard. Work up and down the leg, once. Take a break. Go make dinner or whatever you did, and then sit down for the TV. Go ahead and roll out those quads again, and those hamstrings and those calves would be great.
Should I continue to work, my calf, hamstring, IT, quad all at one time, or should I take some pauses, or what?
It's up to your schedule, really. If you have the time to sit down and work on all of them, that would be great. If you need to break it up into 10-minute segments, go right ahead. There's no specific time frame on it, and it's very adjustable. So
Great. And then I've seen some of these foam rollers that have like the nubs on them, almost look like a tractor wheel. What's different from that one to this one?
those are just the radical. They're for the extremists, really. They're a little bit more uncomfortable. They can dig into the skin a little bit more. These work just as fine. It's all on the pressure that you're putting through, and the nice flat surface makes it easier to roll. So if you want one, you find one that you like, go right ahead. But the regular just flat foam rollers are excellent.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.